Hey guys, Tony here from Rolling the Bullets. So today we're going to talk about gooseneck conversion hitches and fifth wheels. So let's talk about the hitch that we've been running for the last year and a half. Okay, so what we went with was the Demco Recon gooseneck to fifth wheel conversion. Now there's several different conversions on the market, but me, when I was looking, I wanted to get in cheap to see whether or not I would even like the gooseneck conversion. And I was looking at some of the things like the Anderson hitch. Yeah, it's got a decent design, but I wasn't really sold on the whole cable release mechanism on the Anderson. So with the actual Demco, you actually have an actual handle that you pull, which is great, and it has the full locking jaws that goes around your kingpin. So that made more sense for me, and the price point was excellent. The price point was about $800 shipped to me. Okay, as you guys can see, mine is well used as we are full-timers. So I've been using this thing pretty much non-stop for a year and a half. As you guys can see here, it does have the full release handle. And then it's got the full jaw here that actually comes around and locks on this side. So therefore you don't have the ones that come and butt together, or that single little armature comes across. So that gets away a lot of the chucking that you get from forward to backward motion. And as you can see, it also gives you pretty simplified directions actually on the base. Cab, forward, and some other key information that you'll need, like where your pins go and all that good fun stuff. Okay, see right here, this is a jam nut, what they call a jam nut. That basically sets on the gooseneck ball itself. You tighten that down. It's also got a lock screw there that holds that washer in place. Then you have a pull pin down here at the bottom that also keeps your hitch attached to your ball. As you can see, it is recessed back. It does have an offset, so the actual head of the unit sets back further than the jam nut that holds it to the gooseneck. That is so it puts the weight distribution directly over your axles, and that is definitely key. You want to have all that weight on your axle and the full load of your suspension of your camper hitting on that point. To utilize one of the gooseneck conversions, this is what we have. We have a B&W turnover ball hitch system. You don't have to have the B&W because this is actually one of the more expensive industries here. But we've had this on one of our other vehicles, and I really like the design of it and the way they actually manufacture. So to me, a little bit more sturdy built and longevity, and the B&W's been around for a while. So sometimes that goes a long way. Now, like I said, you don't necessarily have to use a B&W. That's what we use, and it's been working out great for us. One of the key benefits of using the gooseneck conversion is you do not have to install bed rails for your fifth wheel, traditional fifth wheel, to actually mount down to in the bed of your truck. So therefore, if you don't need your hitch, you can remove your hitch and still have full access to your entire bed. And the Demco is very simple to install and reinstall. So it makes more sense for me, especially being able to use that and still have access to my bed if I ever need it. And ours comes apart in two pieces. You got your centralized head that comes out the top where the actual fifth wheel kingpin goes in. Then you have your base. There's no bolts in the base, so therefore no need to drill extra holes in your bed and all that good fun stuff. However, also running this style system from Demco, because it is a two-piece section, and then you got your actual head unit that sets down basically into a cavity, that let it kind of give you a little bit of chucking back and forth. But you know what, it wasn't that bad. But I was looking around and I had seen that they had made some changes to the brand new version of it. So I called Demco and was asking them what exactly they did, because I was going to make me a piece to put in the middle so I could eliminate that, basically like a shim. So I was going to build a shim for it to keep the chucking back and forth, from stop to start to a minimum. Well, what they done was redesigned, and they made this little gadget right here. So this is a nice little shim. As you guys can see, it's beveled around the edges. Basically just slides right down on the top of there and gives it a little more surface area contact with the actual stem for the head and the base unit. So therefore, Once that's done, there's no chucking. Now, I made my own out of other things because I got tired of hearing it. But it really wasn't that bad, unless you really had like a hard stop or a hard takeoff. That's really the only time I noticed it. But with what I made to go down in there, and this nice little gadget they sent me, which next time I take my fifth wheel out, I will actually probably install that back in instead of the piece that I made, because mine was basically some pieces of metal that I cut and kind of wedged down in there, basically to do the same thing this little guy here does. But I did it on the side of the road. Now, most of you guys know what we actually had that we pull with. We pull ours with a 2016 Chevrolet 2500 Silverado. And we have a 32-foot fifth wheel that comes in at about 13,586 pounds, fully loaded. So, with that system back there, that is rated for 24,000 gross vehicle weight, does a great job pulling this around. Now, the main thing to remember when using a gooseneck conversion to fifth wheel hitch is you really need to have a long bed pickup truck. We have a short bed. It can be done with a short bed, but you're losing a lot of range of motion that you would get with a slider hitch. So a long bed truck is going to be your #1 application to use one of these. I would highly suggest you use a long bed. Now, I've been driving a tractor trailer for 28 years, so I can maneuver mine around a little bit more because I'm very mindful of my cab. But it only takes one time to not remember that you got that short bed. You can get a little too cattywampus there and run the front of your camper into the corner of your truck, pop a window, mess up the top of the cab. So I would definitely suggest having a long bed to use one of these. But other than that, we've been very, very happy with it. So installation of this unit is very, very simple. It only requires the basics of hand tools, a good socket set, and a good torque wrench to make sure you get that jam nut tightened down to the right foot-pound of torque as manufacturer's specs, because you damn sure don't want to have that thing moving around, sliding around, because it's never a good idea. But like I said, it's about a 10-minute install, and difficulty level is probably about a 1.5. That's surely for the weight, so it's very, very simple to install. So hope this helped. Have any more questions about it, leave it in the comments, and I'll do what I can to help you out getting this installation done. That way you guys can get out and start enjoy RVing. Until next time, guys, we'll talk to you soon. Bye.